Most people are here for the beaches. We're here for the haunted relics and the abandoned building that we're going to check out. Come join us.
There is a tiny island on a small lake located in Long Branch, New Jersey, known as Ross Island. 120-year-old bones groaning under the weight of secrets. The air around it feels thick, like it's holding its breath, and the water at the island's edge doesn't ripple right, like it's holding something just beneath the surface.
We're not at the beach, but we're here in Long Branch, New Jersey, checking out this old abandoned relic of the past.
Now rewind to 1896. P. Sanford Ross bought 30 acres of Woolly Farm when he dammed Whale Pond Brook a year later to birth Ross Lake, that pea-stone house on the island. They say it had a fireplace for steaming clams, but the firelight flickered through those tiny windows at night looked wrong, too red, too unsteady, like it was burning something other than wood. Ross threw lavish parties in his nearby mansion, but servants swore they heard laughter from the island when no one was there. By 1926, Ross and his wife were dead, and the estate slipped away, sold off like a curse no one wanted to inherit. The city owns it now. You can still see it in the winter. Skeletal trees framing it like claws, but good luck getting close. The bridge is long gone, rotted, or torn down, depending on who you ask. No official ghost stories, no weird New Jersey stamp of approval, but that makes it worse. The silence screams. Maybe Ross didn't just leave behind a ruin. Maybe he sealed something in the hut, something that has been waiting, patient for the last century. The island's not just forgotten, it's abandoned for a reason. Step too close, you might feel it, a cold that sinks into your marrow, a sense that whatever's out there isn't done with this world yet. Spooky enough for you? Let's go explore. Dude, when we first heard about Ross Island and this abandoned structure, what did you think? Like, did you really want to go here? Was this something that was like on your bucket list? Because I never heard about this place.
I never heard about it, and I never really dug that far into it because like we grew up with weird New Jersey. We know all the local legends, but you never really heard about this.
I mean, I think I may have heard about it reading in some weird New Jersey magazines, but it never like crossed my mind how close it was and how close it is to Monmouth University. It stinks now because in this area, it's just all houses.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's surrounded by houses. There's a lot of abandoned stuff.
It's almost reminds me of the Dempsey house, which we went to explore as well, because it's made out of the same material.
Yeah, that pea stone.
So it gave me that type of feel.
Yeah, and we're always about testing legends. So we decided, all right, there's no legends associated with this place that we really found online.
We're here at Ross Island. Yeah, I just let them run. Used to be Woolly Farm back in 1896. Can you make your presence known? Hello. All right, made it over to Ross Island. I am soaked. Not a far paddle, but definitely could see some animal tracks in here. I'm guessing during high tide it floods. I don't even know what this was used for. Many people speculate, but is there anybody here? Anybody at all? Anybody in here? Is there anyone here with us? Is there anyone that would like to talk to us?
And I was trying to dig as much as possible on the internet, and I couldn't find anything.
I mean, when we did go over and explored like the little tiny island, which is kind of crazy that it is there, you could see where the old bridge was connecting the island to the mainland, and just being in that structure, I just want to know what it was used for.
Yeah, that's a mystery because no one really has told us what it was used for. I didn't find anything what it was used for. And most of the stuff that you find online, it was little summer getaway that they would just walk over, almost like a garden type thing. Like,
But it's too small to be a garden or anything like
but
that.
if
But
you
he had a fireplace in the middle of two rooms. Like that's kind of, I don't know.
no,
it's
because
weird.
if you look at like some of the old photographs, and there was a board there that said the history of it,
It
because
did.
now the city owns it. And
Yeah.
there's
Because I think they don't want people to go over and explore, deface, or take anything from the island.
then
Or
just
they-
tear it down at that point.
and I think they want to keep the legend and the lore.
The town wants to keep the legend and lore.
Yeah, they
most
do.
towns don't like this shit.
But
Most
you got
towns
Monmouth
are like-
University right there. So like, imagine like you're a college kid and you want to go explore like something creepy. One of like the
Yeah, but unless
the
you had a
fraternities.
kayak like we did, you
We
can't
did.
get over there. I mean, maybe if you had waders on, you could walk over.
I don't know how deep it is.
I think you could. Like there were some spots where I was hitting it and you could feel the bottom. But
Did you feel anything over there?
I'm going to put it up on the shelf here. It's like a fireplace. It's a fireplace. Hopefully it doesn't fall into the mud. But we're here. See if it detects anything, any kind of movement. Anybody in here with us? The owner, whoever it was, the hair's a bit messy today. Anybody here? It detects me, so I'm trying to see if this will detect anything in here that's moving around with me or around me. This is such a small structure. I mean, you could only speculate. Anybody? Yeah, I didn't get a sense of anything. Like when I was there, I didn't feel anything. There was nothing that came back in our recorder.
Which is sad.
There was no EVPs afterwards. There was nothing that talked to us. Absolutely nothing.
I mean, I think it's just awesome that this guy bought 30 acres of a farmland, turned a little brook into a lake, and put hangout spot in the middle of the lake. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, but think about the time that he was doing this in. The early 1900s, which was, if most people don't know, there were 7 presidents that would vacation down in Long Branch, New Jersey for the summer. There's a story that Grant was actually on the train heading to Long Branch, New Jersey when Abraham Lincoln was shot. So it was a big destination for a shore town in the early 1900s.
I mean, could have secret meetings been held in that little hut?
I don't know. I mean, there is a lot of, like, Ross was
A
wealthy
well-to-do
person. Yeah, he was a contractor, and he was also like one of the presidents of the local beach clubs there.
So just think about that. Secret meetings of the presidents, rituals being in that building. I don't think
You're stretching.
I don't think you're really going to find that out or going to know because there's not too much about this story. So I think there could be something there.
There could be a lot of lore that's there. We just don't know. Did you have your first impressions when you went there? You're like, all right, this is pretty creepy looking.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you'd say like, all right, there could be something here.
Yes.
And then did you feel anything?
I didn't feel anything, but you can definitely sense that it was a cool place. And I do believe that if high men of society were vacationing down in that area, that would be a secluded place to hold rituals or secret meetings of some sort.
I guess the most things you would have to look out for over here is just swamp, trash, ticks,
besides standing on the rocks, it's a pretty cool structure. I don't feel anything. Definitely not spooky. Cool, but not spooky. See if we can get something else. Damn. I gotta wear shit shoes. This is something that not too many people would venture out to. But yeah, I'm not getting like Greg got no spooky vibes when he was on the island. We only have one kayak, so Greg and I couldn't be on the island together. You can kind of see the water line over here. I guess that's really it. Kind of sad.
You can. I mean, you could pretty much assume anything at that point.
You got two people guarding the bridge to go over to the island, and you got some secret meetings on the island, I think.
Yeah, but it's so small. Like, if somebody really wanted to get over the island, they could just really swim. Because the kayak took, what, like 2-3 paddles? Boop, boop, and you were right there.
It took a little bit to get on the beach.
And it was a little bit bigger back in the day.
It was.
I mean, I don't know how deep or how wide it was. You know, when we got there, it's in a development now. But who knows? It could have been even wider back in the day. I'm surprised you even tested the legend
I
in terms
tested
of
the hell out of
going
it.
over there.
I tested it.
I didn't think you were going to get in the kayak and go over there.
It was cold that day. I was wet, but we got it done.
Yeah, we did. So if you had to give this a thumbs up, thumbs down?
I think it's a thumbs up.
A thumbs up? Really?
Oh,
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because of the history, the mystery behind it, we don't exactly know. And I think the secrets are still out there.
See, I don't know. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. I wanted more. I wanted to feel something when I was on the island. I wanted something when I was out there because we were both alone on the island.
We were both alone. But think about like at the Devil's Tree or the Tower. Did you feel anything there?
That was spooky, dude.
I think the Devil's Tower was spookier than the Devil's Tree, and I think this was spookier than the Devil's Tree.
No way, because I actually crashed the drone at the Devil's Tower.
Yeah, I'm saying the
Because the
Devil's
legend
Tower
came true.
I'm telling you, the Devil's Tower was 1. This was number 2. The tree was 3.
I don't know about that. I'm giving it a thumbs down. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. Would you venture out into this island?
You can borrow Matt's kayak.
Yeah, anytime if you want to come over. Just grab it. Let us know. Until we see you in the shadows.
Stay spooky.
How's that look? How's that look?
We're here at Ross Farm. Ross,
Filming, bro.
we're filming. Matt gets very scared on camera.
I don't get scared. It's just like you,
Gets very scared.
you're like very rigid. You're like rigid. You're like,
We're on Ross Island. All right, ready?